Hello everyone, welcome to this video on charting the life course focusing on the integrated support star. My name is Barb Safaris and I am an Ohio ambassador for charting the life course. I work with the Family Resource Network of Ohio, which is housed at the Nisonger Center at The Ohio State University. And I also work with the National or the Nexus team for charting the life course at the University of Missouri, Kansas City. A little bit about me. I've worked with people with disabilities, their families, and professionals for over 45 years in the Cleveland, Ohio area. I am the oldest of three. My two younger brothers had disabilities. My youngest brother, Nick, had a developmental disability, and my middle brother, Jim, had an acquired disability as a result of an accident he was in his 30s. In this video, we'll talk about integrated supports and looking at supports in 5 areas: personal strengths and assets, relationships, technology, community resources, and eligibility-specific resources. You will have some additional resources that you can look at and use during the video and after: the PowerPoint, the integrated support star, and the integrated support options chart. The Charting the Life course trainings in Ohio are provided by the Family Resource Network of Ohio through funding from the Ohio Department of Developmental Disabilities. We've talked before about what is a good life. Before you use the integrated support star, you have to have identified your good life. And a good life is having dreams, people who believe in you, having what's important to you in your life, being respected, having more good days than bad, feeling healthy and safe, and having control over decisions affecting your life. We talked about using the vision tool to think about your life in the 6 different life domains and what your vision is. We also talked about putting your vision on the trajectory and then sharing it with people who support you, both paid and unpaid, and the power of having it written down on paper. Families and people with disabilities have said writing it down on paper has given them paper power and paper courage to share their thoughts. We look at the 6 domains that are interconnected, and we've covered those in other videos, but just a reminder: daily life and employment, community living, social and spirituality, healthy living, safety and security, and advocacy and engagement. Once we've identified an outcome or a concern, it could be something like getting a job or getting transportation to go somewhere. It could be to meet new friends. We put that outcome or concern in the white star in the middle of this integrated support star form. So think about anything in your life. You would write that in the star. Maybe it's getting a job. And then I always tell people to start with personal strengths and assets. What does the person bring, or the people who know them, their family, bring? So for getting a job, maybe it's the person has had several jobs or several job opportunities, experiences. Maybe they can drive a car and have a driver's license. Then look at relationships. Who can help you? Who do you know? Who do you know that maybe has a business that you're interested in working in? Who do you know that has connections? And who do you know that might have the experience, might have the job that you want, that you can talk to? Then we move over to technology. What technology can help you get a job? Have you looked online for job postings? Do you know how to fill out a job application online? Down at the bottom left, community-based resources. Have you gone where job postings are? Have you gone to different places and asked about jobs? And then eligibility specific. What are you eligible for? So if you have a disability, maybe you're eligible for county board supports. Maybe you're eligible for opportunities for Ohioans with disabilities. We also have something called a split star. Same 5 areas. You put your concern or what you want to brainstorm about in the middle. But each of those 5 areas is now split into current, what supports do you currently have, and what supports do you need to look at developing or identifying in the future. So maybe you have a laptop and know how to use a laptop, know how to use the internet, but you've never searched for jobs online and don't know how to fill out a job application. So that might be something you look to in the future. We know that CMS, or Centers for Medicare and Medicaid Services, which supports a lot of the services for people with disabilities, says that we need to promote full access to a community life and also promote lives that people want to live. So on this PowerPoint, you see this integrated support star, each of the 5 areas, and it gives you things to consider in each of those areas. So let's look at each of those areas. On the left, you see a model, 3 circles. You see the person in the context of their family, in their community, and you see a bunch of stars around the person. Those are the integrated supports. We want people to look at all 5 areas and getting supports in all 5 areas. If you only get supports from your family and something happens to someone in your family, you may lose supports. If you only get support from the system, the eligibility system, if something happens to funding, you may lose that support and then you're without supports. So we want to look at all 5 areas. Looking at personal strengths and assets, we're looking at the things that the person can do, resources that they bring. So when I talked about getting a job, maybe the person has a driver's license. Maybe they've had a job experience in the field that they're interested in. Maybe they've learned how to do things. Maybe they want to work with animals, but they have had experience pet sitting or dog walking or volunteering at an animal shelter. All of those are personal strengths and assets. Then looking at relationships, who can help you? If you want to work with animals, do you know anybody who has a pet store or who has animals? Do you know anybody who works with animals, a vet? And look at the people you know. Who has information that can help you? Who has connections or who has experience? I talk about people with ICE, information, connections, experience. But don't forget the importance of people who know people. So you may not know anybody that's a veterinarian, but maybe somebody you know does. Or maybe somebody you know knows somebody who owns a pet store. And then technology. What technology will help you if you want to work with animals? Never dismiss the power of YouTube and looking at YouTube to see if you really want to do what you think you want to do, and looking at what does that job truly entail. One mother told me her son wanted to play cricket, and she asked him, cricket? Where did you even hear about cricket? And she said, you know, maybe you better watch some YouTube videos about cricket and see what cricket truly is. And he did. He wanted to learn how to play cricket. So technology, not just the hardware, but also the software. And also look at environmental technology. You know, what technology can you use? Can you use an iPad where your job directions are given to you in a video format. So you don't have to read, but you can actually see and follow the video of what you need to do. There are endless possibilities for how technology can help you. Community resources. What's available in the community for anybody that can help you? So if you are looking for transportation, what is the public transportation? Is there Uber? Some communities have specialized transportation for people who are older or people with disabilities. So does your community have that as a possibility? And then eligibility specific supports. But don't just think about disability specific, but also look at supports that you may be eligible because of membership. So one gentleman wanted to be a photographer, and one of the staff supporting him said, you know, I have a club membership to BJ's, and let's go look at cameras at BJ's because maybe you can get a better camera for less. So don't dismiss things that we pay to be members of. Not just disability-specific supports, but supports that you may be eligible for because of your age, your gender, your income level. And all of us that have jobs are eligible for supports because of our employment, our health insurance benefits, maybe our wellness benefits, and maybe benefits that are people are eligible for because of their family members. We're sharing this chart. It's called an Integrated Support Options Chart. So if you're thinking, I have no clue what to think about for technology, the chart has 2 pages. On the left side of the chart are the domains. And across the top are the 5 points of the Integrated Support Star, starting with personal strengths and assets, and then looking at technology, relationships, what's in the community, and eligibility specific last. And then for each of the domains, it gives you things to think about. Have you considered this? So you don't have to think about things yourself. We are giving you a chart to look at as reference. Again, the importance of starting with personal strengths and assets. We recognize that everybody has strengths. And so we want to start there so that we help people realize they do have strengths. They bring strengths and assets to the table. And we end with eligibility specific so people don't start there and think that's the only place that they can get supports. So our vision for you using the Integrated Support Star is that it really helps you brainstorm and think of possibilities. When I've done this with people, they come up with possible supports that they had never even thought about. It's really beneficial to do this with a larger group of people because the more people you include, the more knowledge they bring, the more experiences they bring, and the more connections they have. So I find that this is great to brainstorm with a larger group of people, and it helps you be more innovative and really explore what may be out in the community. What we don't want you to do is start with eligibility specific supports. So as we close, I just want to share 4 websites that might be helpful. They are on the PowerPoint. The website for the Family Resource Network of Ohio, LifeCourseTools.com, Ohio Developmental Disabilities Council, and the Ohio Department of Developmental Disabilities. I hope this video has been helpful, and I thank you for your attention and hope that you can use the information with yourself and with your family. Thank you.